Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ron, your host. Now, before I go on with tonight's review, I want to mention about my review of the movie Thirst. I forgot to say what year that movie came out. That movie came out in 2009. So if I forgot to say that, I just forgot. So, now that I talked about that, let's actually talk about tonight's review. And I'm welcome you to my review of The Ring 2. Yes, we are now taking a look at the sequel to The Ring. Now, I did cover The Ring the last time, and I thought that movie was really, really good. And that movie was it was a cool little remake to a Japanese horror movie. So now I'm talking about The Ring 2. And while I not necessarily say this movie is bad, I would probably call this more of a disappointment. It was a mixed bag, and I was underwhelmed, I should say. So let's actually talk about The Ring 2. So this movie, like I said again, it stars Naomi Watts, Simon Baker, David Dorfman, Elizabeth Perkins, and Sissy Spacek. This movie was released in 2005. So I want to clarify that so I don't forget. So yeah, and like I said again, this movie is I'll talk more about that. So let's talk about the plot to The Ring 2. So, once again, Naomi Watts returns back as investigative reporter Rachel Keller, now demanding to start a new life and escape her haunted memories. But when a vengeful Cimarron returns, Rachel faces her nightmarish life or death struggles to save herself and her young son in this edge of your seat thriller. Now, before I watched this, I watched a little short that was called, sorry about that, guys. The little known short was actually called Rings. Now, DreamWorks did release, I have this in the Ring DVD set. So right there is the Rings. It was actually a bonus disc. But, as you can probably tell, I'll show you what it looked like. This is the bonus disc to Rings. So, yeah. And, yeah. This short was also available on the Ring 2 DVD. So, it's also on there as a special feature. And I will easily say, if you finish The Ring, go to Rings, and then watch Ring 2, because there are two characters at the beginning of the movie, which explains how that happens. If you do not watch Rings and you decide to go into Ring 2, you're going to kind of be lost. So I did watch so that short was interesting. It followed two characters, Emily and Jake, Ryan Merriman and Emily Van Camp. They're a couple that this guy decides they make this video within 7 days, and they have to try to survive 7 days. Picking up where that happened with The Ring 2, we see the boyfriend-girlfriend, and the two of them they decided to show this video, and yeah, basically what they are, and the two of them basically, they watch the videotape, and this is not a spoiler. One of them gets this freaky face and dies, and the girlfriend is now, I don't know, either going to jail or to a mental institution. It's kind of like the first movie. So now we get Rachel, and she works with an assistant named Max, played by Simon Baker. So these two, again, together, they kind of form a bond. The sequel is actually directed by Hideo Nakakim. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. I'm just going to say Hideo for the sake of this video. I'll just say Hideo N. That's the best I can do. He was the guy who directed the original Ring, which was called Ringu when it came to America. So I was kind of mixed on this, though. I think the performances are good. It's the first half. The first half was great. I thought the movie was going to be exactly like the first half. Then it kind of went sort of in the middle when it got to leaving the idea of this tape. And now we get sort of this psychological thriller where the kid is now possessed. There's a scene where Rachel and I forget his name in the movie. Let me resort to the back of the first movie's DVD. Does not say. Well, her son. Basically, he's possessed, and he has the powers that the little girl in the videotape has. So now they're trying to search for clues, and it's just trying to figure out what's going on. So it feels like that. Then we get back to the last half, which is almost like the first half. See, that was my problem with this movie. I'm not saying The Ring 2 is a bad movie. I'm just saying it was underwhelming. And half the time we get Simon Baker plays Max, and again, he's playing the idiot plot. So the kid warns him, don't do that. So this kid has these powers. He's in the hospital. The one nurse is possessed now. So what does she do? She takes the needle and just jams it right in her neck, killing her instantly. And now the young man is out of the hospital. But Rachel didn't really realize that. Yeah, that's the problem I have with this again. There's a payoff at the end, but I felt the payoff did not work. The movie was exactly like the first movie. The first movie built tension to this character. We want to know about the tape. Now it's all about a camcorder and a camera. Also, interesting enough, when there's a scene where they're at the fair, she's overlooking all the VHS tapes, and interesting enough, all those VHS tapes are DreamWorks movies. I don't know if that's a studio joke. That's more of a studio in joke. And then Max is saying, that's an obsolete format. Which is kind of funny because The Ring 2 did get a VHS release. And I just found it very interesting. I'm not saying whole. The ending, it's satisfied to what the ending does. The visuals are outstanding. The scene where the young man is in the bathtub, and all of a sudden it's like there's no water. The water's like really up to the ceiling. Once they stop that curse, all the water just goes dumping down there, and her son and Rachel are soaked. So now Max says he's going to the hospital. He's going to that hospital. And then I mentioned the hospital scenes. I don't know. First off, Max was just so unlikable. I know. I was like, well, he's a dumbass. He does the idiot plot of trying to say things when the young man warned him not to do that. Without trying to give it away, this is not a total ending. I'm going to tell you one ending. This is part one of that ending. So if you don't want to hear that, please stop. So here we go. The scene where the young man tells him don't look at the camera. And he presses a button to turn on the camera. Guess what happens? He makes that creepy face and he's dead. And Rachel finds out in the car. What an idiot. What a dumbass. I'm sorry, but when someone tells you no and warns you, don't listen to him. I know it's movies are escape, but come on, it's exactly like the character in the first Ring. That same thing happened to him. Did you know why I dislike this movie? Is that second half. I'm not going to give away the rest of this. I don't want to see too long. Also, Sissy Spacek appears in the movie only for one scene, even though she gets credit on the back of the DVD. Despite only having one scene in the movie, and that's where Rachel goes to the mental institution and asks her questions. Okay, so is there any positives with this movie before I go on with what I'm going to rate this, and does not affect what I'm going to rate the movie? I will say the cinematography is great. Rick Baker does the makeup, and the Hans Zimmer score is great. All that is good. But when you got the first half, which is just phenomenal, which is great, scary, intense, it's when you get to the second half and the last third of the movie, you don't got yourself a good movie. But I like that first half. I just wish it was more of that instead of just being sort of like that whole murder mystery. This one feels like a murder mystery than what the first movie. Instead of trying to be based on a Japanese horror movie, they try to go to the murder mystery route. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about this though. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up right here. So at the end of the day, I did not like The Ring 2. But that's just personally me. Now mind you guys, this is not a bad movie. In the most part, I think that first half is very solid. Just like when I reviewed a movie called Thirst, I thought the first half was good. Then when it got to the second half, it went about down there. So it's kind of like 50-50. But I think I enjoyed Thirst a little more than this. Ultimately, I was disappointed with this sequel. I thought it was going to be more... I thought it was going to be exactly like the original Ring, but better. But at the end of it, for me, it just really didn't work. Now, mind you, The Ring 2 is not a bad movie. There are some good parts in it. Ultimately, when it comes down to this, if you liked the first Ring and you want to see where the series continues, yeah, check out The Ring 2. There is a third movie called Rings, which is a Japanese remake to a film called Spiral. Unfortunately, I won't be covering Rings on this channel. But like I said, if you wanted to know what I rated Rings, which is a short that was featured on the Ring bonus disc, and this, you can head over to Letterboxd, and I felt that one was a little... I will tell you right now, I thought that short was better than this. So if you are going to watch this, go watch Ring. Go watch The Ring. Hopefully I can do this in one shot. Then go watch Rings, and then go watch this. You're going to watch them in the exact correct order, or you're going to be lost. If you decide you watch this and go to this, you're going to totally be lost, guys. Now, mind you guys, this is not a bad movie. I'm not narking it for what it is. It's just a disappointing, underwhelming movie, in my opinion. I think that's all I'm going to say about this. So let's go ahead and rate this movie. I'm going to give The Ring 2 a 3 out of 5. And I think that gears towards more of the disappointment that this movie tries to be. I don't know what happened when they made this movie. I don't know if the director felt, hey, let's just make the first half great and make the second half boring. Not saying that this movie is bad, guys. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not a bad movie. The reason I rated that rating was because of that first half. If everything was like the second half, the beginning was like the second half, this probably would have been lower. This would have been a low score. So, like, yeah, it was tough. This was another hard one to decide what I was going to give it. So, yeah, like I said, guys, it was a hard decision. So, I guess a 3 out of 5 might be the final rating I'm going to give this. So, yeah, I guess if you want to check out The Ring 2, I mean, it's not terrible, but I will easily say if I would say between the two, between choosing the original or The Ring 2, just go watch The Ring. This movie's just a much better, it's just way more enjoyment. The direction by Gore Verbinski really does make this movie shine than any other film I've ever seen. I enjoyed that movie more than I enjoyed The Ring 2. Now, again, guys, this is not a bad movie. It's just a mediocre, disappointing, underwhelming film that could have been a lot better, but just kind of went downhill like that. So yeah, if you do want to see The Ring 2, I guess it's worth watching. Like I said, if you want to see where the series continues, then sure, check out The Ring 2. I'm not saying that this is bad, guys. It's just underwhelming, in my opinion. So that's my review of The Ring 2. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content of the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you don't miss a single video on the channel. I'm also on Letterboxd, guys, so you can check out what I rate the movie before I make the video and before I upload. So, as I said, tons of content on the channel. Lots and lots of good stuff on the channel. So swing on over there, check it out. Let me know what you guys think of The Ring 2. Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? Did you guys see the short? Did you guys see The Ring short before you watched The Ring 2? Let me know, guys. So, yeah. I guess if you really want to check out The Ring 2, you might want to give this a watch. But if you did not like The Ring, you're probably not going to get anything out of this than a film that I just felt underwhelming. So yeah, that's it, guys. And as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.